It is visible, right? So today we'll see convolution integral, which is with respect to continuous time signal. So let us express a continuous time signal with the weighted superposition of time shifted pulses. A continuous time signal as weighted superposition of time shifted signals or impulses. So what is that? X of t integration minus infinite to infinite x of tau del of t minus tau beta. Okay, so this is the representation of a continuous time signal as a weighted superposition of time shifted impulses. Okay, so in this case this superposition is an integral instead of sum, which was for discrete time signal. Okay, so superposition in this case, superposition here, it is integration. Okay, earlier it was sum. Okay, and time shifts are given by the continuous variable tau. This time shift is given by continuous variable tau. Okay, by this, so this weights xt d tau, sorry, x tau d tau, this weights derived from the value of signal xt at time tau. Okay, so here the weights of the continuous time signal x tau d tau are derived from the signal xt at time tau. Okay, so this weight derived from the value of the signal x of t at the time tau at which each impulse occurs. Okay, so let us consider this input is given, or this signal, continuous time signal, is given to a system with the operator h. Okay, so let us denote the system operator h where the input xt is applied. So system operator is h where the input x of t is applied. Okay, so what we are thinking of, our h system operator is a system, is denotes a system with LTI system, linear time invariant system. Okay, so the output in response of the input, the output of the system can be y of t equals to h of x of t. Okay, this is the input we have been given to the system h. Okay, so if we write like this, h of, we are writing xt like this, minus infinite infinite x of tau del of t minus tau d tau. Okay, so this is the output of the system where h denotes the system operator. Okay, now we going to apply this linearity property and time invariance property. Okay, because our system is linear as well as time invariant. Okay, because we have been considering that kind of system only. So using linearity property of the system, what we can write, y of t, we can take this system operator with respect to this impulses. Okay, so integration minus infinite to infinite x of tau h of del t minus tau d tau. Okay, sorry, here. Okay. Now, as in the discrete time case, the response of the continuous time linear system to time shifted impulses completely describe the input output characteristic of the system. So in this way, we're going to describe the input output relation of this continuous time system also. So we define the impulse response. So if we have been giving this kind of impulses to a system, so impulse response for this case, that is for the continuous time signal where we have been giving the input to the system. So we can consider in return to this impulses, the impulse response of the system will be impulse response of the system will be h of t. Previously that was h of n. So what is this h of t? H of L of t. Okay. So this is the impulse response of the system in response to the unit impulse in the system. So this is the impulse response when impulses are been given to the system. Okay. So for this case, for particularly for this case, so what we can write, h of del of t minus tau time shifted impulses been given to the system. So it will produce time shifted response like this. Okay. So this is also known as time invariance. Okay. So what we can write, that is when the time invariance property is maintained by the system. So when time shifted impulses are been given with respect to that, so output is also been produced as a time shifted. That is called time invariance property. Same thing. So up to this, that was our linearity property. So in return to this kind of input, the output has been produced like this. So when time shifted impulses, time shift in the input will have the reflect the time shifted output. So that is time invariance property. So let us take a impulse response, something like this. Let us write an impulse response. Sorry, this is h of t. That is your impulse response to the system of the system, something like this. Let us consider something like this. Okay, it maintains the maximum amplitude of 1. Let us consider it is 0 and it is on the time axis. So we are having the input something like this. We are having the input at tau. We are having an impulse. Let us consider. So this is our x tau del of t minus tau. X tau del of t minus tau. Okay, this is our x tau. So x tau is what? It is the weight of that impulse, right? X tau is the weight of that impulse. So when it has been given to a system, that is our h of t. H of t is having like this kind. So what will be our output? So this h of t is LTI. It is linear time invariant system. Okay. So what will be that? So from this, the output will be started. So up to this tau, after that our output will be there. So this is the weight of x tau and this is our x tau h of t minus tau. Clear? So this property is same as the integration when we have been doing for a signal integration with an impulse, right? This is the property of impulse signal. So when an signal is doing or having multiplication with the impulse, and that multiplied signal is been integrated, so we're going to get the impulse exactly at that location. We're going to get the signal exact at that location where this impulse exists. So something like this. So previously we have seen, that is integration minus infinite to infinite. Let us consider xt del of t minus t naught dt. So that will result in x of t naught. The signal will come at the location of t naught. That is what here is also same thing. The impulse response with according to this impulse weighted sum of this impulse, that is for this tau, at tau this weights have been exist. So this impulse response, when it has been coming as an output, this is your output y of t. So from that location, this signal will goes on continue, right? So up to this, any doubt? This one, now it is visible. Okay. So same way we will start for the problem solving what we did for the case of discrete time signals. Okay, the same way. So finally, for this case, finally this output can be summation or the integration of this signal, that is y of t will be integration of minus infinite to infinite x of tau h of t minus tau d tau. Okay, so for this case, as it is only one impulse is there, so we can directly write it is the output. So if this kind of impulses or weighted sum of impulses are there for the input, so we need to take the integration between them. So this kind of output, this yt, is also written as xt convolution with h of t, same way what we have seen. This star symbol represents the convolution, so it is convolution integral. For this case, this is convolution integral. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to take the integration between the different weighted impulse responses. Okay, so let us do a problem. So here also we will represent this x tau h of t minus tau as an intermediate signal, and we're going to reflect and time shift, then we're going to solve the problem. Okay, so same thing, previously that was summation, now it becomes integration. Okay, clear? Okay, so let us start with the problem, so that will be more clear. So this xt, this input is given as, now it is in terms of continuous time signal u of t minus 3, and your h of t, impulse response of the system, is given as ut minus u of t minus 2. Okay, so these are the input, this is the input, this is the output. We need to find, so this is the impulse response, we need to find out the output of the system. Okay? So if we plot this xt, this xt will be like this. From 1 up to 3, a rectangular pulse will be there. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So from 1 to 3, so it is 1, is 1 xt. Same for h of t, if you plot, so it will start from t is equals to 0 going up to 2. So it is also 1, so it is your h of t. Okay, so this is a plot for this xt and ht. Fine. So what we need to do, we need to reflect and time shift this h of t, right? So this h of t, now it will become h of t minus tau. Now we need to reflect and time shift, so we need to write this one just below this. So rectangular pulse within this duration, so this one will become h of t minus tau. So obviously this is been shifted to t, so this one will become t minus 2, right? So this one, for this case, for the next case, it will become x of tau. This is the tau axis, this is the tau axis. Okay, so what we did, we reflect and time shifted, reflect and time shifted. Okay, now we'll start from the left hand side, and we're going to see what are the terms we can able to find out within a specific time period. Okay, so let us start with in the left hand side, from the most left hand side, where t less than 1, because this signal is started from 1, so we need to consider from t less than 1. So t less than 1, if we go for this, for t less than 1, what will be your w and tau? So it is not n, it will become w t tau, that is x tau h of t minus tau. So what will be that? Obviously 0, because this is non-zero value is not there, completely 0 for t less than 1 in x tau. So we can write directly as 0. Now starting from 1, let us start from 1. So at t is equals to 1, at t is equals to 1, what will be the case? Here non-zero value of x tau exists. So we're going to do the interaction or mapping of this x tau in h of t minus tau. So for this case, we can write 1 into 1, so it is 1. Now this one will goes and continue up to t. Let us start. So because this location will have the interaction with all of the pulses. If we consider this edge, this leftmost edge, it's going to have the interaction with all the pulses. Okay. So what we can write? This in general we can write Wt tau is 1 for 1 less than, sorry, that one will be 1 less than, we have been considered already 1 tau and up to t and 0 otherwise. Okay, so where we are starting from this and going up to this tau is equals to t, maximum of this h of t minus tau, because this one is having the interaction with all of the pulse duration, all of the this interaction is this edge. If we consider this leftmost edge of this x tau will have the interaction starting from rightmost part of this h of t minus tau and up to this t minus 2. So it will have the interaction between 1 and starting from 1 and going up to this t. Okay, next we will start from, so what will this one? So how we can draw this pulse? This is about Wt tau. So starting from 1, 0, 1, let us say it is 1, and going up to t. So we don't know what is the last value of t. Okay, so up to t, it is the amplitude of 1. Okay. Next, we will start from 1. We'll start from this 1. When this pulse is slided, let us consider this pulse, this h of t minus 2 to t, this pulse is going to slide. So this will exist, or this slide will continuous up to 3, starting from 1 and up to 3. So what we're going to find? So if we consider 1 to 3, for this case, this one will be the same. W t tau will be 1 for 1 less than equals to t less than 3 and 0 otherwise. Okay, so this is up to this. If we x1, then you can easily able to visualize. If we write x means mathematical form, so you can able to visualize, then this whole pulse duration is going to have, because for this case it is the pulse duration of 2, but for this case it is having the pulse duration of 3. So whole of this pulse will have the interaction starting from 1 and going up to 3. Okay, now this one will have this edge when it will come and doing the interaction with this 3. So what you can say, the beyond 3, so it will start from t minus 2. So this pulse duration will be from t minus 2 . So sorry, this one will be your tau. This one will be your tau. In respect of tau we are writing. So this one will be your tau. So tau less than 3. So what we are doing? This rightmost edge of this x tau will have the interaction up to t minus 2, right? So from t minus 2 to 3, what will be this x w of t tau? So it is again 1, right? T minus 2 less than tau less than 3 and 0 otherwise. We have been segregating in intervals. Okay. Next, if we go beyond 3, then we need to find out. So if we have been up to this, so for this tau, what will be the last value of t? We need to find out what will be the last value of our t. So if we write down like this, so this integration will produce y of t is 0 if we write in terms of t, 0 for t less than 1. Now when t is between 1 to 3, t is between 1 to 3, what will be the value? So we need to do the integration for this one. So if we do the integration between this, when, so we need to do the integration between 1 to 3, so that one 1 and going up to 3 x of tau h of t minus d tau, right? So we need to do the integration. Again, same for this one, that is from tau is equals to t by 2 to 3 integration t minus 2 to 3 x tau h of t minus tau d tau. We need to find out the value. So in this way, we need to find out this x w of t, w of integration of w of, after all our yt will be integration of this thing, right? So these are the values of this w t tau. So we need to do the integration of this. So if we do the integration, so it will result into 0 for t less than 1, t minus 1 from 3, 5 minus of t, 3 less than is equals to t less than 5, and again 0 if we go beyond 5. Any doubt? Which one? Sorry, it will be tau tau tau. So if we do the integration, we can easily able to find 5 minus of t, right? So this one 1 to 3, that one will be your, if we write 1 to 3, that is up to this t. So if you take this one and this one will be same, so we can able to find out the same thing. So if we write in terms of t, so that one is coming as t minus 1, this one is coming as 5 minus t. So what are the intervals? Just try to find first. So if you look at this diagram, the first interval is starting from t less than 0. T less than, so t not less than 0, it is starting from t is equals to 1. So we need to go from t less than 1, first interval. So t less than 1, it is 0, its signal is 0. Okay, so at t is equals to 1, at t is equals to 1, it is having the interaction with this and this h and this h. So it is producing 1. So this one will goes on continue from 1 to t. Okay, 1 t is tau is equals to 1 to t, tau is equals to 1 to t, it will goes on continue have the interaction with this h and this h. Okay, now if we go beyond 3 for this, if we go beyond 3, so what will have, all the two edges will have the interaction with the edges of this x tau. If it goes on continue and going for t greater than 3, I'm just entering here again, x tau x tau is starting from, this one will be your like this, it is 1, and this one will be your 3, this is your x tau. Same, we have been shifted and reflected that one, so this one will become t, it is t minus 2, this is your h of t minus tau. Okay, this is also having the amplitude of 1, it is tau axis. The independent variable now has become tau. Okay, so first we need to find out the intervals where we can have the wt tau which is going to change. So we need to find out this wt tau for different intervals, okay. So what is this? It is x tau h of t minus tau. Okay, so first let us find for t less than 1, because it is starting from 1. It is starting from 1. So if we go for t less than 1, so obviously this one 0, so 0 into 1, it will be your 0 only, because we need to take the multiplication, then we need to do the, after all finally finding out this yt, we need to do the integration. So this intermediate signal multiplication will be completely 0. Okay, now at t is equals to 1, what we are having, this right edge of h of t minus tau, this right edge will coincide with the left edge of x tau. This edge will have the mapping of this edge, means this edge will coincide with this left edge of x tau, because this edge of tau is starting side and going towards the right, and it has already been exist at that location. So if we consider t equals to 1, at t is equals to 1, we are having this edge coincide with this edge, means this left edge of t minus tau will coincide with the right edge of, so this right edge of t minus tau will coincide with the left edge of x tau. Therefore, as we increase the time shift t beyond 1, if we go beyond 1, so what we are having at t is equals to 1, what we are have, I'm just writing this one, right edge of h of t minus tau coincides with the left edge of x of tau. Okay, this will going to happen for this t is equals to 1. Now as we increase the time shift, increasing time shift t beyond 1, if you go beyond 1, if you go, means t is equals to 2, 3, something like that, so what will happen, w of t minus tau will become 1, where in the interval 1 to t. So what we are doing, if it goes on increasing this time shift t beyond 1, okay, so 2, 3, something like that, if it goes on increasing, so it is having 1 or 0 otherwise. Okay, so what will be the representation for this, starting from 1 and going up to t, that is your wt tau. Right, for the time being, but we need to think how much we can go. Now I am just coming, but it does not change until t greater than 3. It does not change, this one, this representation does not change until t greater than 3. So when it immediately becomes t greater than 3, 4, 5, now this representation will change. Okay, so at which point, if we go beyond this t greater than 3, if we going beyond 3, so what will happen, at which point both edges of h of t minus tau pass through the edges of x tau. If we go beyond t greater than 3 to t greater than 3, so at this point both edges of these two edges of this h of t minus tau pass through the edges of x of tau. So if it go beyond 3, so what will happen, both the edges of this one, this edge and this edge, they are passes through this edge as well as this edge. If we go beyond 3, if you go beyond 3, but if you stuck up to 3, so we are up to this edge only. But if we go beyond 3, then both the edges of this h of t minus tau will pass through all the edges of x of tau. Clear? So the interval for this case, the second interval, this was the first interval, the second interval will be second interval of time shift t is 1, starting from 1, and in the left hand side of 3 means up to 3. It will be your 3. Okay. Now, as we increase the time shift beyond 3, what happens? If we go beyond 3, means the time shift beyond 3. So, what we can write? 1 starting from t minus 2 up to 3 and 0 otherwise. So if we go beyond 3, let us consider 4. So that one will be, this 1 will exist for 2 to 3, right? If we go beyond 4, means let us consider some value that is 4. So that one will be 2 to 3. If you take 5, then it will be within these 3. Single interaction means this edge and this edge. Okay. 6. If we go to up to 6, then nothing is there. 0. So like this. So this thing can be written as or written as this interaction from t minus 2 to 3. So we can't go beyond that, because after that this is completely 0. So the result will have 0 amplitude. So it is 1. If we go beyond 3, so this is 0. So when this h of t minus tau will have the interaction with this 0 value of this x of t, so it will become 0. Getting or not? Here, if we go beyond 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. So when this h of t minus tau will have the interaction with this amplitude, so if that one will become 0. So that is what I said. So if we go beyond 3, so this one will be the condition. So how we can prove that? So let us consider 3 greater 3 means let us consider 4. If you take 4, so this tau range is starting from, we are considering for t. That t will give you the range of tau, because after all we are on the tau axis. Getting or not? We are in time shift. So time shift is with the respect of t. This t, time shift. But we are on the tau axis. Our time shift t is constant for this case. For this reflect and time shift signal, our time shift constant, and this init variable now it becomes tau. That is what we are doing. Okay. Now this representation will not change until we are been up to t is equals to 5. Just try to understand. If we take t is equals to 5 over here, the time shift t is equals to 5. So our tau is within 3 only up to this edge. So we can take this multiplication as 1. But if you go beyond 5, then the change is occurring. Right? So the next interval where this wt tau will change, that is t greater than or is equals to 5. Getting or not? So what we can write? This wt tau does not change until t is equals to 5. Until t is equals to 5. Okay. So the third interval is starting from 3 and going up to 5. This is the interval about the time shift. Okay. Now at t is equals to 5, the left edge of h of t minus tau passes through the right edge of x of tau, and wt tau become 0. So, and as we continue to increase t beyond 5, w theta will remain at 0. Okay. So the final interval of time shift is t greater than or is equals to 5. Clear? So if we summarize this thing, so what we can write? For t less than 1, we have been talking about the time shift, okay, and t greater than 5, y of t is 0 since w theta is 0. Next, for interval starting from 1 and up to 3, means before 3, this yt, so how we have been finding up to 3? We have been up to 3 with respect to this interval, right? This t can be up to 3. So starting from 1 and going up to t, isn't it? So what we can take? The integration starting from 1 going up to t, this t, maximum t is 3 w t tau d tau. So if you take this w t tau is 1, so it is results into t minus of 1. Okay. Next, for 3 and up to 5, this y of t is represented by this range of tau. Getting or not? This range of tau. So we need integration from t minus 2 to 3 w t tau d tau, that is 5 minus of t. Next, we need to no need to go with this because our t greater than 5 we have been included. So this yt can be written as 0 for t less than 1, t minus 1 from 1 and up to 3, 5 minus of t starting from 3 before 5, and again 0 if we take 5 or greater than 5. So what we are doing basically, we have been on the tau axis, but we are finding range for t, time shift. Okay. So this is our intermediate signal which we are going to find out from this two signals, x of tau and h of t minus tau. So first of all, if at t less than 1, that is time shift, if it is less than 1 at this side, so obviously nothing is there. So everything means if this h of t minus tau within this range, so 0 into 1, it becomes 0. At t is equals to 1, this right edge of h of t minus tau will have the interaction with this left edge. Okay. Now if you go on increasing this time shift beyond 1, this time shift is going and increasing beyond 1. So we are having this wt tau is equals to 1 for the tau from 1 to t. Just try to understand. On the tau axis, if we going beyond 1, so this one will have the 1. So up to 1 to t. So how much is the maximum range of t? The maximum range of t can be up to 3. Right? So this expression will not change, does not change until t greater than 3. At which point both edges of h of t minus tau, pass through the edges of x of tau. Both the edges of t minus tau will pass through this edge as well as this edge. So the second interval we can define for the time shift. The second interval, the first interval is t less than 1. The second interval up to 3, starting from 1 up to 3. Next, if we go beyond 3, on the tau axis, if we go beyond 3 for this t, this time shift on the tau axis, so wt tau will be 1 and represented by this interval for the tau. So on this interval for this tau, we need to fix the value of t. So this expression will not change until t is equals to 5. Why? Because if we up to t is equals to 5, so we are having the non-zero values of x tau as well as h of t minus tau. Okay, so if you take t is equals to 4, so we can go up to 2 to 3. This portion will be there, 2 to 3. Okay, if you take t is equals to 5, so within this edge. Okay, so in this way we have been finding the intervals for the time shift t. So as a whole we can summarize like this. Any doubt? Where? This case. This one. At t is equals to 5. At t is equals to 5. If you have been considering at t is equals to 5. So we are on this edge. Right? So let me write the whole expression for this. So previously how we are doing the multiplication and taking the sum. Right? Now if you take t is equals to 5, this tau ranges from, means tau is 3. Right? Tau is 3. So where is your exact doubt? Just tell me that. Where is the doubt? Okay. Let me draw this yt first. How this yt will looks like, then that will be more clear. Just tell me how this yt will look like. So it will start from 1, right? It will start from 1. I'm just drawing that one, then that will be clear. 1, that is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now it will start from 1, right? So t minus 1 is, it is an ramp, right? Starting at t is equals to 1. So this ramp will exist up to this 3. Getting or not? So if we put t is equals to 3, the maximum amplitude of the ramp will be 2. It is 1, is 2. Right? So at 3 it is having the maximum amplitude. So like this, up to this 3, starting from 1 and up to 3. A ramp. So this maximum amplitude of this ramp is 2. Starting from 3 and up to 5, we are having an minus of t minus 5, right? If you write like this, 5 minus t means minus of t minus 5. That is up to 5. Starting from 3, it is having the negative slope, right? So this can be written as, this can be drawn as like this. Clear? Now I hope the confusion is clear. Clear now? Yes? 3 to 5 I have drawn. 3 to 5. Here. I have not written means which part? This part. This one. Yes. What is the doubt? How we have been derived this interval? For this case means